Today is March 25th, and I'm excited to see everybody. My name for introductions is Megan Lloyd, and I do a lot of different things. One of them is I'm the creator of these Trello funnels, and I created them with the intention of supporting doTERRA business leaders on how to one of the major things that people keep telling me is I need a system. I need something to help my track my customers, track my prospects, and track my builders, and make sure that no one is being missed in my team. And so that was my original intention, was creating something simple that was duplicable that could be passed down to your team, that even if they're new builders just getting started, that they could jump in and use it without having to invest a lot of money because it's free. And so that was my original intention when I created these. I do a few other things as well. I was formerly the assistant to Lee Shedeby years ago, and then also to Callie Wilson, who's a presidential diamond. And then after no longer being a VA, I created my own business where I teach other people how to be VAs. And I also help my clients, a lot of them are doTERRA leaders, to find virtual assistants. So that's one of many, many things that I do, but I'm excited to jump into Trello with you and show you a few things. Who is already using, are all of you using Trello currently, or is it something that you are exploring and thinking about, or that you have questions on? I kind of want to get a feel for where everybody's at. Have you already downloaded the funnels, or is this something new that you're trying to see if it will work for you? You're thinking about it. Awesome, Debbie. Cool, awesome. Okay. Well, let me just kind of show you what they are, and then we'll kind of just jump in and get started, and you can tell me what questions you have along the way. Feel free to interrupt me, either unmute yourself or open up the chat, and I'm happy to stop and answer any questions that you might have along the way. Can everybody see my Trello boards right now? Okay, perfect. Awesome. So this is the prospect funnel, and this is the one I like to start with because it's before anybody even gets enrolled. Obviously they're beginning, they're a starter. And I also like to call this the names list. One of the very first things that people do in doTERRA is have their people write down some options or people that they could share doTERRA with. And oh good, I'm so glad, Lillian, that's awesome. Perfect. Okay, starting using a newbie. Okay, awesome. Well, that helps me to know what our audience is right now. So this is the names list. So the moment that you have a new person that has decided that they want to build or that they want to share, and they're coming up with the names of people that they want to share doTERRA with, you can just type them right in here, or they can do that. And all of these are free, and Trello is free. So the main idea is I've preloaded it with steps that a prospect would normally need to have to be successful and to move to that next potentially enrollment, right? And then we have the customer funnel that I'll show you after that, and the builder funnel after that. And so I filled it with different resources to make each part of the funnel happen. And then I've also included, for those of you that have an assistant or you are an assistant yourself, on ideas on how you can support someone in that part of the process. So let me just show you how it works. I've created this template card that you can use to add all of your names. So let's say that you have someone named Susan. Don't just add another card by clicking this button. Use the template so that it draws in all the templates that I've already included. If you just add another card, it's going to come in blank. There won't be anything on it, which is fine if you don't want to use my template, but that's the difference between using this button versus this button. So let's say Susan is someone that you met at a grocery store and you said you were going to send her some samples. So we're going to move her to, you've already had the initial contact at the grocery store. So now she needs some samples to be shipped. And here in the resource section, I've included a lot of resources to make that happen. There's stuff about pirate ship and some things that you may want to have on hand to make that sample and to make sure that you have some things to send out. And then you can even, when you click into Susan, you can add all of her information right here. How many of you have sticky notes or papers lying all over your purse or your car or everywhere with like contacts, like, don't forget to send this. So this has a phone app, so you can keep track of all of this right here. If they give you their phone number or an email, or you've said, I was going to send lemon, lavender, and peppermint, you can just start writing that right now. Like she says that she has trouble with respiratory issues, and you can start typing that in right there. You can say what samples you're going to share and all of those things, which makes it really easy so you don't lose them, right? And All of these steps right here are the same steps that you're going to see across the top. It just depends on how you like to track. If you want to cross them off that, yes, I've done all of these steps, then you can do that. Or you can just know that when they're no longer in this column, that step has been completed. So it's up to you on how you want to use it. But let's say that you do something different between here and here, and this process isn't exactly how you would do it. Then all you need to do is come over here and add a new part to the funnel, and you can drag and drop it wherever you want it. And you can add your own resource cards if you want, your own things, and then just keep dragging her along in the funnel. And so that would be my first step, is that if you're going to use these Trello funnels, make sure that the process fits how you want it to be. That if you use Project Broadcast and you want to drop everybody into a prospect campaign, then you can add that here. Or if there's something specific that you do, make sure that your Trello funnel reflects it before you dump in all of your contacts. But basically, Susan is just going to move along in each part of the funnel, and you can see and click into it and get all the resources. A lot of these are things from the Back to Basics calls that Elise Chedevy has created, that they have scripts, they have templates and resources. There's even like the follow-up for no shows after a class. Here are some text message scripts that you could even send to those people. And I've grabbed them from her and just dropped them in here so that it's all organized in a way that you can use it. Let's say that she has gone all the way through and that she has decided to enroll. Now we need to move her to the customer funnel, right? And that's very easy to do just by clicking this little pencil button. We're going to move her over by clicking the move button, and we're going to move her to the customer funnel. And that one is right here. So you click move, and now when I click on the customer funnel, here Susan is. She's already here. So you don't need to create a new card or anything. You can just keep moving her along into different boards. Now she is enrolled. What are the next steps? I would really, really recommend that you have someone that you write out your process. What do you want to have happen for your business specifically the moment someone enrolls? Do you want them to get a welcome email? Do you send something in the mail like a postcard or a package? Do you want them to have a wellness consult or a lifestyle overview? What is your process that you want to make sure that everybody on your team gets? And can you mute those people, Jennifer, if they don't know that their mics are on? Okay, so then you're just going to move her along. Oh, and by the way, Jennifer is my assistant here, and we're so appreciate her being with us. She's the one handling all the things in the background that you don't see. So thank you, Jennifer, for being. So again, they include all the resources to help you complete this task. Even I have a welcome email template that you can use to get that process going. Now, just to pause here for a second, there are some really easy ways for free to send out welcome emails if you're just getting started in your business and you can invest in like an email service. I love Streak. There's obviously paid versions of Streak, but there's free versions as well. So the way that I use Streak, first of all, you can go download Streak as to your Gmail just by going to streak.com and click add to Chrome, and then it's already installed for me, so it's just telling me to go to my Gmail. But the way that I use it is free. So back in your email, you'll know that it's activated because you'll see these orange little options here at the bottom of your screen, and you can create templates. So if you create a new snippet from draft, what this means is, well, actually, hang on, stop for 1 second. I just don't want to share all of my personal emails on there. Essentially, you're going to create a draft, create a template of what you want your welcome email to be, and you're going to drop it in there into that email, and you're going to save it so that anytime that you have a new enrollment on your team, you're just going to click add that template, and it will send to that person. So you don't have to keep typing it in or copying it in from somewhere all the time. It will be something that you can just send out regularly. So that's one way to automate that specific process and make it a little bit easier. Okay, so moving on, lifestyle overviews. Again, here are all the resources to conduct a lifestyle overview, and even some ways that an assistant can help you if you're ready for that in your business. If you're not, that's totally fine. Normally, I'd say that golds and above are the ones that find the most value from having an assistant, but especially platinums and diamonds and above. If you are diamond or higher and you don't have an assistant, then that's something that you're that Elise Shedovy has even said that you probably should have one by the time you hit diamond, or else you're going to feel like your business is crushing you. So anyway, this is the basic step for your customers. I wanted to draw attention really quickly though to these last check-ins here. A lot of times when people enroll, they get lost, right? Maybe they got the welcome email and maybe they even had a wellness consult, but it's really important that you schedule regular check-ins with those people so that they're getting continual nurturing, whether you are putting them into some continuing ed or you are whatever it is that you do, and a Facebook community, all of those different things. But I wanted to make sure that around 3, 6, and 11.5 months, you're sending some sort of message to your customers about how they're doing and what concerns they have, because they may not always reach out and say, hey, I'm a little bit nervous about how to use my new oils, and they're just sort of sitting in my closet. So if you reach out to them and say, hey, how are you doing with your oils, or how is your team doing, do you need it, or whatever, just kind of check in. And I've included scripts on what you may want to say to each group, depending on when you're checking in with them. So there's the 3, 6, and the 11.5 month. Now, 11.5 month is particularly important because what happens at 12 months, their membership renews. And sometimes that can be a surprise, even though that you've told them that it will renew. So on 11.5 months, it's just good to send out a reminder that says something like, hey, I hope you and your family are doing well. Just a reminder that next time you place your order, you'll probably have your membership, your doTERRA membership will renew. So you'll see an extra $25 charge there. Don't worry though, this is awesome because it means that you get wholesale pricing. It means that you get continued access to all the perks in doTERRA, and you get a free peppermint. So it's as if you're getting it for free, right? So it's important that they get that message, because how many of you have had people reach out like, what was this $25 charge in my account? And I didn't do that. I'm not sure what this is. So if they know ahead of time that it's coming, you're not putting out fires later. You're prepping them for that, what that will mean. So that's why that is there. Now, let's say that Susan has decided to build. You're going to move her to the builder funnel. Now, before I move to any of the other funnels, I did want to show that this is very, very easy to use. So once you download them from my templates, they're going to look just like this. So there's nothing that you need to do to add all of this information because it comes preloaded with this here. But every Trello board in the free version has one free power up, which is basically a superpower for each board. And I wanted to show you what that does over here. So when you click, actually, let's just get out of it, over up here on show menu and click this little left-hand button, you can see power ups or add power up. So if you click add power up, there's a whole bunch of things that you can get lost in here. So don't feel like you have to go down a rabbit hole and explore every single thing. But if you are thinking, man, I wish that my boards would do this, then you can search in here to see if that feature is available. Like a calendar view. There's so many different calendar options that you can see your Trello boards in calendar view. Like, who do I need to follow up with when? Because you can add a deadline to every single card. So with your cards, if you just add a due date, and then you put it into a calendar view that you want, to check in with this person by this date, you'll get an alert on your phone and an alert in your email that says you have a card that is due. It'll say Susan's card is due. And you'll know to come in here and look at Susan and be like, oh yeah, I was going to follow up with her at 6 months, and it's now 6 months. So I should probably reach out to her. You can, when you download the calendar power up, you can see everybody in calendar view. So just one other way to make it a little bit more easy to use. There's also the card mirroring power up, which means that, let's say Susan is both a customer and a builder at the same time. So she needs to go through both funnels to be successful. You can make it so that that card mirrors each other on either board. So she can be in the customer board and the builder board at the same time. And a change you make to one will also be made to the other automatically. So anyway, there's a few different things that you can do here. Okay, now let's just show you a couple other ones. The shipping tracker. Oh, somebody have a question? Okay. Oh, Lillian, I just saw your comment. That's awesome. I'm excited to have my session with you too. We're excited it'll be great to connect. So the shipping tracker is one of these amazing ones that no matter where you are in your business, that you probably should have. It's it's incredible because what it does, how many of you have stacks and stacks of receipts from the post office, and then somebody reaches out and says, hey, I know that you were going to send me something in the mail. I haven't yet received it. Where is it? So you go start looking at your stacks and stacks of receipts to try and find that specific tracking number, and you go put it into USPS to see where it is. This removes all of that overwhelm. So what happens is, again, you push this little button that says create card from template. And let's say that it was Dan that you're sending something to. And you click on Dan, and you can write all of your notes about Dan. You can write his name, his address, the things that you were sending to him. That's really important because sometimes you forget who you sent stuff to and why. So add all of your notes here. And then here's the amazing thing that happens. So I'm going to show you this template right here that I did, where once you type in this track package and you type in the route or the tracking number right here, you can choose the carrier that it's going to. It's not just in the US, by the way, it's in Germany and Africa and all over the place. There's all the different shipping options. So you can track worldwide on where things are going. Will this link show up with stamps.com somehow? If they give you a tracking number, it should. I'm not really sure though. It depends on what carrier stamps.com uses. So if they use FedEx or USPS, which I'm assuming they use any of those, and they give you a tracking number, then you just need to find out what carrier stamps.com sends through, and then grab that tracking number and put them here. Same with Shipping Easy. Anywhere that you ship anything, whether it's Pirate Ship uses USPS, Shipping Easy, or any of these, you just want to find out what carrier they use. And if they give you a tracking number and they give you the carrier person, then you can just type in FedEx and type in the tracking number, and it will automatically populate with where that package is. So this one has already been delivered, but it would show processed, in transit, or delivered. And you can see exactly where and when, and it would automatically pull that information into the card for you, so that when you're looking, let's say this has a ton of people on this one board, you can say, okay, Susan's shipment has already been delivered, and it shows right there on the front of the card. If it's in transit, it will say in transit. So you don't have to do all that process that I was telling you before, where you're trying frantically to figure out where their package is and why it hasn't been delivered. So this makes it super, super easy. And if you have an assistant, this is something they can help manage for you. So you can say, hey, assistant, can you send some packages to Dan? Here's what I'd like to be sent. Here's his address. And they can go into pirateship.com for you and actually mail that package and put it up and have it go out, which is fantastic. Okay, any questions on that? Let's see, I saw, yeah, that's funny. I'm just reading all the comments. That's right, Lillian. More like stacks and stacks to be mailed, right? This makes it just a little bit easier. By the way, if you're not using something like stamps.com or shippingeasy.com, Pirate Ship is really awesome because what it does is it's wholesale USPS shipping. So it reduces it by like 30%. So it's not nearly as expensive, and they'll even pick it up from your house. So if you ship samples or prizes or giveaways, then you go to Pirate Ship and fill in all of your information, slap the label on top of your package, stick it on your doorstep, and schedule a pickup, and USPS will take it away from your house. So that's one way to make that process a little bit simpler. Let's see. Okay, I have several different boards that I can show you in the 20 minutes that we have left today. I can show you the builder funnel. I can show you some of the, let's see, let's show you the builder funnel for just a moment. Okay, so this one is very, very similar. Basically, the way I've broken up the builder funnel is that the first half from here to here is before the builder has decided to even build. So you're trying to show them the opportunity. Starting from week 1 and on is that they have now decided to build and they need resources. So what we're going to do, let's say that we have Carl that is our new builder, and he needs the initial invite to build. So you're going to have that contact. And here's a whole bunch of stuff from the back to basics, and you can adapt these to be your own. By the way, anytime that you're ever given a script or something to use in your business, if it doesn't resonate with something you would feel and say, then adapt it so that it feels authentic to you. Don't feel like just because this is how it's written is exactly how you need to say it, because they're going to sense that it's not authentic, right? So make sure that you adapt these to however you would want to do it. But here's where some of the magic is. These ones are not from Elise Shedby. These ones are actually from Emily Pfeiffer. After you've met with someone and they're like, yeah, I think I'd like to know more, you send them an email with this email script, and it tells them a little bit about the products, the people, the purpose, the plan, and the philosophy. And it gets them just a taste of what building a doTERRA business might look like. And then they watch those short little videos, and then you say, awesome, I'll be in touch in a few days to see how what your thoughts were. So you call them and have a 48-hour follow-up to see how things went. And again, here's some scripts you can use. Now, the next one, if they're still interested after that, like, great, I'll send you another email with some more things that you might want to look at. And it's the comp plan simplified, and a few other videos that you might find helpful to give them a little bit more of a taste on what building a doTERRA business might look like. And now they're in. Let's say that they're ready to build. And now, well, first of all, they'd have that follow-up after that call or after that email, and then they're ready to build. Now, here's where we bring in Elise Chedevy's 30, 60, 90 day plan, and we've put them in Trello format so that you can track your builders. The very first week, here's this checklist of things that they should probably experience to be successful that first week. And the idea is we're trying to give them some of the baby steps, right? We don't want to fire hose them in the beginning because it's going to scare them. And there's a lot to know and experience. And so we want to give them steps along the way so that they can take it in one bite at a time. And then week 2 is very similar. Give them some sampling tools. We're trying to set them up to share and invite and have some basic things in place and to get some classes on their schedule. And so here's where we actually go through some of the class scripts and get some calendar or events on their calendar. So anyway, here's all of that. They've gone through everything from week 6 is kind of the 30, 60 day, 90 plan. And then week 7 through 12 is mostly support. You know, that the idea that you are co-teaching classes with them in the beginning, and then eventually they're teaching them on their own. And then again, the check-ins 3, 6, and 12 months is very similar to the customers, where we're sending out some messages to help them be successful. Now, a lot of this can be, some of these things can be automated, right? Where when they're on your Trello board, if it says text them this or email them this, you can use Streak to automate some of those emails a little bit more. You can use something like Project Broadcast to send out text messages. So that you can schedule them where it says, I want to make sure that this text message goes out to this person in 3 months from today. Then you can type it up now and schedule it so that it actually goes out 3 months from today, which is really great. And by the way, ECC, I'm going to stop sharing my screen really fast. How many of you have heard of Project Broadcast and Essential Connection Co? You all have, some of you haven't. Okay, so those that have not, these 4 diamonds and above got together and created these texting scripts that are fantastic, that they even use for their team, that are really authentic. So some of them might be diffuser recipes that you can send out to your customers, or swap recipes, like here's how to swap some things in your laundry room for some healthier options. And it's all about giving them love and nurturing. It's not like, hey, buy. It's more like, let me give you value. So it's the reverse of what other people are doing. And it's fantastic when you pair it with something like Project Broadcast, where that Project Broadcast is the actual texting platform that you put the scripts onto. Now, full disclosure, ECC is creating their own texting platform right now, that they're moving away from Project Broadcast in the coming months, and they're moving to something called Nudge. And that's going to be released soon. You can get on their waiting list right now. But the awesome thing is when you download Nudge, it will already have the templates, the ECC scripts inside of your texting platform. And all you have to do is say, yes, I want this welcome text to go to this person, and it goes. And so it's a lot simpler than Project Broadcast right now. But it's a fantastic option to nurture your team if you're ready for something like that. I know not everybody is, but many are. And it's wonderful, because what I'm seeing from my clients who are using it is people who have been like dead on their team or haven't engaged in a long time. They're now resurfacing and they are engaging and requesting these texting scripts, but you're not overwhelming them with messages, right? Because what it does is it has keywords. So instead of just saying, I'm going to blast you with 6 diffuser recipes, you can say, hey, I have some awesome diffuser recipes for the spring. Would you be interested? And I can send them your way, 1 a day for the next 5 days. And they say, yes, diffuser recipes. And they text back the word diffuser. And then automatically the system will send them one message a day for the next 5 or whatever days with a new diffuser recipe. So they are sort of opting in and letting you know which campaigns they want to be a part of. So you're not spamming them, which is really great. Okay, any questions before I move on so far? There's a couple of other boards that I wanted to show you. I do have the reactivation funnels, which are very similar to the customer funnel and the builder funnel. They're just sort of reactivating some of those people that haven't been engaged for a long time with some additional steps. But one of the other funnels I did want to mention is the qualifying leader template. And it looks very, very simple, but what this is going to do, can you see my Trello funnels, by the way? Am I sharing the right screen? I am, okay. So this is basically where you're going to track your mentor calls. That when you're working with your new builders and you forget all the things that you've said on a call, like who's going to do what and what follow-up you're going to send and all the things. And then so you get on another call with them and you're like, oh man, let me get my notes. I don't remember what we talked about last week. How did your conversation go with, who were you going to talk to again? And you can sort of organize that conversation a little bit better. So here's what that looks like. Let's say that you have a new builder. We'll call her, I don't know why I'm thinking Candy. I actually don't know anybody named Candy, but this would be, well, first of all, you're going to add your builders here at the top, your builders, and then their builders below them. And so when you're meeting with Brandon, when you're meeting with Brandon and he has the builder Candy underneath him, you would create a card for Brandon and then a card for each of his builders. So Brandon would be here at the top and then all of his builders below. So when you meet with Brandon for a mentor call, you can create a whole checklist on what you've talked about. So when you're pulling this up, you can create your own checklist and you can say, we met on March 24th. And here are all the things that we talked about. He was going to do this, I was going to do that. And you just sort of start taking notes of all the things you've said so that next time you have your call with Brandon, whether you're on the go or at your computer, because remember, again, Trello has a phone app that you can just pull it up and be like, yeah, okay, so I remember last week we talked about this, this, and this. Tell me how that went. Did you do this, this, and this? Oh, you didn't? Well, what do we need to do to help you achieve those goals of yours or to get those things done so that you can be successful? And you just sort of have all of your notes. And then the next time you can create another one, April 2nd, and you have all of your notes for that day. And it just keeps it all a little bit more organized so that your mentor calls aren't lost. Who would find that helpful? I know a lot of people have found great organization when they finally started using something like this. But it's very simple, but yet effective. And again, it has the phone app, so make sure that you download those. Okay, let's see really fast with the last few minutes that we have. Go ahead and type in the chat with some challenges that you're having in your business right now, whether it pertains to automation or tools or systems or finding new people or supporting your customers or your builders. And it's likely that I might have a resource to help support you in that. Okay, let me make sure we've gone through most of the important funnels really quick. Oh, the last one I did want to show you is the project management board. So one of the biggest things that I see from my clients is that they're all ideas people. They all have all the ideas and they have a ton of things that they want to do, but they forget all the ideas that they have, or they don't actually see them to completion. So here's what I do. So again, sitting in my bed and before I'm about to go to bed, I have all the thoughts of all the things I need to do tomorrow. So I pull up my project board and I start typing in all the things that that are flowing around in my head that are stopping me from being able to sleep. And then I will pull it up and I'll type in all the notes or thoughts that I have about that specific topic so that it's all in one place. And this brain dump section might be a mile long. And that's okay, because this is just where you're keeping all of those important thoughts that when they become important and they're ready to act on them, let's say this one is an oil study that you want to start doing. When you're ready to actually act on it, you're just going to move it to the queue. So in queue, you don't want to have 10 things in the queue at once because then nothing is actually getting done. I recommend that the idea of macros and micros, right? That you focus on only a couple of macros each month because each macro will have many micros to achieve that specific project. And if you have too many at once, nothing is going to get done. And then working on it now, and then projects are done, which is the best part of a to-do list, right? I've even given you some ideas and things you can do daily, weekly, and monthly in your business. And this is not all encompassing. This is just to get you started. But hopefully that kind of helps organize your thoughts a little bit better. If you're like me and you just have a gazillion, Post-it notes all over your desk and notes in your phone, and this will help organize those a little bit more. Okay, let me pull up the chat really fast and see what everybody is saying. Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Kirk says, okay, awesome. Perfect. Okay, perfect. How do you track continuing education? That is a great question. You can even create your own board for continuing education. So what you can do when you're over here, you can, I actually like to duplicate existing boards, but you can click on create new board. And well, that team needs to be upgraded. So by the way, you can only have a certain number of boards in a team or on the free version. I think it's like 8. And so if you want to upgrade, like this board is the one that I have unlimited number of boards on, where I've actually paid for this specific team to have multiple boards. But if you wanted to create your own board for continuing education, then I might have one that says, let's see, let's just pull up one, for example, to show you. Let's pull up, which one do I want to do it on? Let's just put it on the shipping tracker, just because there's a lot of space on there. So what I might do for continuing education is write out your process, right? What happens with continuing education? Are you wanting to track all the people that are have watched every single class, or are you wanting to figure out what prizes you're sending? Because you can totally do that here. You can have 1 through 8, right? Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, 6, 7, and 8. And you can type the topics, and you can put each person that has attended that class in that column, or that needs to attend that class in that column. And when they have attended that class, then you move them to the next column, right? And that's one way you can track them. I know that Google Forms is probably one of the best ways, because then you have them, instead of having them fill out a new form, instead of you having to track them, here's my biggest thing with continuing ed, put the ownership on them, that if they want to get a prize in the end, they need to be the one tracking whether or not they're attending, which means that you have a Google form for each class that says, what did we talk about in the class? And maybe you have a special keyword in that class that you say, today's keyword, if you're keeping track for a prize in the end, is lavender. Write that down so that you can let me know on the Google form that it's proof that you actually attended this class. And then it has a section about, what did we talk about in this class? What was your biggest takeaway? Because if they don't say anything in that column, it's probably an indication that they're just trying to get a prize and didn't actually watch the class. And then don't make it so that you have to go in and see, okay, I see that Emily is here and Debbie's here. Don't even put that ownership on yourself. If they don't send in their own thing that says, yes, I attended the class, here's what we discussed, here's the keyword. Once it's on a Google form, it can automatically that data to a spreadsheet for you, so you can see who attended all the classes at a glance. And that's how I personally would track it, because that way there's not so much pressure on you to manage it, but you're putting it on them. Any other questions? I have to jump away in just a few minutes, but I wanted to make sure that you all have some great support. One other tool that I did want to show you is Vivodo. I don't know if any of you have heard about Vivodo, but they recently came out with a free version, which is really awesome, that I wanted to show you today. So I'm losing my voice just a second. Let me pull up my, pull it up for you so that you can see what I'm talking about. So what Vivodo is, by the way, is it has multiple different levels, but the first level is free, and it comes with a sampling funnel. So let me pull it up really quick. And Vivodo actually partnered with doTERRA to create a lot of things just for doTERRA leaders, which is so awesome. These are the 3 different plans that they have, but the first plan includes a landing page where people can go and request samples from you. So that if you don't want to build a website right now, that's not part of your budget, But you still want to have a place that people can go and request samples and fill out a form, and that you get notified that they have filled out that form so that you can contact them. It will also, in that form, I believe it will send out an automated email afterwards that says, yay, you filled out the form, or we're going to send you some samples soon. It will also include one doTERRA newsletter per month. In the free version, I don't think that the newsletter is editable, but in the other versions, they are. It also includes 500 contacts that you can add into your CRM in the free version. So this might be a really great option for some of your newer people that are just getting started. Now, if you're ready for your own website, this one is $47 a month, and it gives you 2 newsletters a month. It allows people to register for classes and events right from your website, and has some automated follow-up emails that will go out to people afterwards. And it has a few other different funnels that they give you. And the $97 plan actually includes some courses and things like that are already pre-built that you can give to your team. So for example, in my, sorry, let me get to my marketing really quick. Let me show you, this is the back end of my Vivodo. So if you go to meganlloyd.org, that's actually a website that's built on Vivodo so that you can see it. But they give you 2 courses in the $97 plan that are already pre-built, one for your customers, one for your builders. So whenever you're ready for something like that on your team, on your business, these are courses that you would have access to that are already done that you can give to new customers, so they can learn more about the oils and kind of keep that nurturing and education going on their own timeline, right? That if they're doing continuing ed, but they need something else. There's also some for your builders where they have, sometimes when they go to the daily mentor calls after being a new builder, it's a little bit overwhelming because they haven't even heard what an LRP is or how to set their LRP to 100 and some of those very basic things that people need before they get started. And they talk about that here in this course. And so here's how to enroll someone, and then you click next and you can see some other things. So just kind of getting them set up right away with some important tools and videos to get going, so that you don't have to create all of this. This is kind of a complement to that funnel that I was showing you for your builders, where you're going through specific talking points with them. So anyway, I just wanted you to know that Vivodo is one of my favorite options for doTERRA leaders, and includes a lot of other things for you. So there's a lot of tools and systems that I can show you. Debbie, you said, how do we access all of this? Are you asking about the recording or the Trello funnels or Vodo, or what are you wanting to access? Because the Trello funnels are on my website. If you're not using them already, you just go to meganlloyd.org and you'll see a button that says Trello funnels at the top. And once you fill out the form, it will send you an email with a link to all the Trello funnels. So you need to create a free Trello account, and then you'll add all of these funnels to your account. And as far as with Vivodo, here's the link that Jennifer just sent, that you can create your own Vivodo account and start playing around with that there. So do you use both Trello and Vivodo? That's a good question. Most of my clients use both because Trello is free and it's visually appealing because you can kind of see and customize your processes a little bit more. What Vivodo does is it sends out the messages for you. So where in Trello, you're saying this person needs an email, Trello isn't going to send out that email to them, but once they're in that column, you can actually send the email through Vivodo. And so they kind of work together in tandem, I think, a little bit, because you can see it visually in one spot and know that it's happening on the back end in another place. Great question. Any other questions before we jump off? Awesome. Well, if there's anything else I can do for you, you can email, or you can reach me actually at meganlloyd.org, and you can fill out my contact form and send me any other questions or things that you have. They don't link to each other, Jennifer, unfortunately. But there are things that you can automate, like your welcome email. So let's say that your welcome email you want to go out on every week. You would go get your contacts from the back office, drop them into your Vivodo account, and say, you tag them as new enrollee, and then maybe that tag is attached to that email, which is your welcome email template, and it will automatically go to them the moment you drop your contacts into your Vivodo account, and it just sends. And so in Trello, you would basically just mark those people as having had their email sent, or move them to the next column, and that's sort of how they talk to each other. The other things that I do some business coaching. I do help you find assistants. I do assistant training. I'm in the process of creating several courses right now for Pinterest workshops and social media management and all sorts of other things, but they're all kind of coming in the coming months and things. But I just wanted to let you know that those are some of the things that I do offer if you're looking for more support. This is just kind of my free call that I give some very high level things, but if you need some more in-depth one-on-one support, I also do business coaching. The 3 different types of business coaching I do, because everybody offers different kinds of business coaching, is I do tools and training. Maybe you just need to know how to use your systems, your tools, and the programs that you're trying to work with, or maybe you're trying to figure out how to create a system, a process to support each of your prospects, customers, and builders. Then I sit down with you and help you create a process specific to you that's authentic to how you will operate and do business. And then the third thing I do is for those of you that have employees or team members, virtual assistants, or social media managers, I work with you on how to create a healthy relationship together and operate in the best way that you can. So those are some of the things that I offer. I hope that you found this helpful today. We will have the recording posted, and we'll send it to all of you within the coming days. So have a wonderful afternoon, and I'm sure that we'll be in touch. Bye, everybody.